guys. Watch this little trick here, right here. Watch Michael Saylor. If you want to go to the moon.
Last time our next guest was on CNBC, he was expecting Bitcoin to be $150,000 by the end of the year. Want to find out if he's changed his tune since late October, given the recent move in the crypto space. You're looking at Bitcoin right now at $94,632. Michael Saylor is here, strategy founder and executive chairman. Good morning to you. What do you think? 150 by the end of the year? What do you think's happening here?
You know, I think we all want to go to the moon, but if you want to ride the rocket, you got to be prepared to pull the G's. Over 5 years, Bitcoin's had like 6 brutal drawdowns. If you roll the clock back 13 months, we were sitting around 68,000. And then after the Trump election, we had this incredible rally from 68 to 106,000 in 5 weeks. If you go back 14 months, we were about 55,000.
Suddenly shit comes into perspective, doesn't it, fellas? And, you know, we're near the end, or so they speak. But let me whip this up here for you real fast, since we're all in the good here, right? We're all in the good, right? This is awesome. So let me show you exactly where things are at the moment. So this is the chart for roughly, let's see here, May. We'll call it from May until now. Look in between the trend lines, okay? If you look from the bottom forward, right? What's happened? We've dipped out here. Where's this dip? That's 98, right? But before we came into it, the bottom line coming across here, right? Where was this? 80,000. So 6 months ago, we were 80,000, 70,000, 80,000. And we go to 1 point. Okay. 1 point up, 2 point up, drop. Where did we drop to? 100K. Down. All these little ups. 1 point up, 1 point down, 1 point up. And then we play this game where we hover right around somewhere for a little bit, right? See what happens? Same shit, up and down. Now this is our 125K, 126K right there. That's our highs. What do you think's going on? Give me it and I'll explain. Why is this pullback happening? I'm a crypto miner. I kind of want to know. Just saying. Why is it happening? Maybe I know, maybe I don't. I'll speculate with you though. So when I see things like this, you know, Jamie Dimon was really big on not doing anything with Bitcoin. He trash talked the shit out of it while JP Morgan was trading everything. JP Morgan says Bitcoin could reach 170,000 over the next 6 to 12 months. Why is that? Because they've priced it in, but they want it cheaper. They want you to fall for the scam. Municipalities, governments. The Czech central bank buys $1 million worth of Bitcoin and crypto. Why did they do that? Why? A little common sense here. Okay, let's add in the fact that Morgan Stanley is going to allow trading in Bitcoin directly on their platform for, like, instance, E-Trade, which they own, starting April 2026. They're not the only ones that are going to be doing that come April. So we're not going anywhere like this. Then you have to kind of stop, sit back and think. You know, is it really going to be that bad? Is it? Or is this just another one of these little bumps in the road that you see here, where you get a little here and there? It happens. It's crypto. It's tied in with traditional finance. So am I here to raise the roof and bring out the whole entire thing and say, yes, I know it all? No, I'm full of shit. I don't know anything. I'm just showing you what I see. You go back here, holy shit, in April, and we took a couple things, then we took some licks. A little tiny lick sideways again. Right here, trend lines. Bing, 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 bing. Right? Bing, 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 bing. It stayed in the box. The 6-month chart tells you a lot if you read charts. So the bottom line is that when you look at articles like this, next Fed rate, interest rate cut could be sliding into 2026. Well, the bottom line is this, okay? Everybody's scared. They're scared. We're not going to get our rate cut. The Fed shut down. It screwed up all the numbers. That's possible, but I don't know. Okay? And why did the Fed meet on, last Friday? Today is the 16th. So why did the Fed meet, 2 days ago on the 14th? Well, let's see. Key points are right here in front of us. Faces internal divisions of uncertain data ahead of December interest rate decision cut. Inflation and employment numbers, and jobs, government jobs shutdown, complicated upcoming policy choices. Wall Street expects delayed rate cuts beyond 2026 of January 26th. So, in other words, Bitcoin is a volatile, investment, right? So, with uncertainty in the market, not just in the crypto markets, but in the TradFi market, you see things like this. And then you end up going back to like the 6-month chart, right? Where you're literally trading sideways. Sure, it looks like it went up a couple of times, but you're still within the same gap on the 6-month trading, 6-month chart. And you're trading, you're between the trend lines. Now, I know anyone can draw some lines and put them wherever in the hell they want on a little box, right? Okay? But things like this scare investors, scare TradFi. Now that TradFi is here within Bitcoin, this becomes a problem. See what I'm saying? This is why Bitcoin's not going up. So if you have call options and you're in TradFi, anything Bitcoin related, you're probably going to be safe because it takes a little pain. Like you said, everybody wants to go to the moon, but they don't like the rocket ride up. Let's take a look here, right? Okay. Sticky inflation, murky economic data, and growing divisions in the Federal Reserve could create an inflection point for monetary policy in just a few weeks. Markets were pricing a near certain December interest rate cut long ago. Even some Fed officials expected the central bank to deliver a third 2025 rate cut. Now it looks more like a coin toss. Well, I just said, Bitcoin is a volatile investment. Okay? People don't want to put their money where they're not sure it is in TradFi. And with paper hands going into these ETFs and ETPs, what do you think's happening? Right? Look at that. Let me go back one more here. Of course, we see the key points. Sticky inflation, murky economic data. Guys, this is pretty simple. I know this, and I'm no whiz at anything, but when Michael Saylor said that little piece, that was the shit. Just saying. Just saying. It's why I'm not worried. It's why I'm not worried. I mean, okay. So I know some of that stuff's a little chopped up, but I am not worried. As a matter of fact, I'm moving forward. And J.P. Morgan today, again, reiterated Bitcoin will be between $150,000 and $170,000 in roughly 6 months, like you just said. So you have to think like what Saylor said. And I'm going to leave you with that particular cut before I take off. Okay? If you're a miner, you keep mining. It's all about the dollar cost average, ups and downs when your deposits are made, so on and so forth. And that to me is nothing but positive news there. If you're not a miner and you're a trader, you're thinking, it's over, the sky is falling. Or when something pops back up, you guys are going to say, and this happens every time, oh, we're back. Look, he said 5 years. Use that 5-year mark in there. And I'll cut you to that so you guys can see it again. There you go. Think about it that way.
What do you think? 150 by the end of the year? What do you think's happening here?
You know, I think we all want to go to the moon, but if you want to ride the rocket, you got to be prepared to pull the G's. Over 5 years, Bitcoin's had like 6 brutal drawdowns. If you roll the clock back 13 months, we were sitting around 68,000. And then after the Trump election, we had this incredible rally from 68 to 106,000 in 5 weeks.